Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to go over my top stock picks for the week of February 13th through the 17th. Before we do, just to reiterate, not a financial advisor. Make sure that you do your own research. Also, if you find value in the video, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content, and hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can let you know every time we release new content. So let's dive on into it. Been a little while since I made a Sunday stock pick video, like a legit one. I usually just kind of go over some of the ones that I'm watching and continuing to buy and things like that. But I have a couple that I wanted to bring to your attention. So SSL, ticker symbol SSL, one that we've talked about on the channel before. It was undervalued underneath the red SMA line, pretty close to the low of the Fibonacci retracement level of 1470, and shaping up to me for an interesting swing play, kind of like a little W shape or double bottom pattern here. So it hit 1470, is climbing back up, and currently retesting that red SMA line. May go a little bit more above there, but I kind of feel like it's going to pull back down again before we come back up and really retest and bust through that 1765 mark. So currently it's at fair value. I wouldn't buy it here for a swing because we are in currently a bullish pattern. You want to make sure and wait until these two lines cross over and get back into that red pattern, which means it's selling off. So when it does, kind of eye about 16 bucks or so, somewhere in the 16s, to see if it'll fall back down there, and then that point it should be undervalued, and then that's where I would look to enter from there and then ride it back up to the 1765, maybe $18 mark whenever it gets to that point. Okay, next one up, guys, is Occidental Petroleum, ticker symbol OXY. And this one, sort of the same thing. We actually are a little bit close to overvalued. You'd want to wait for it to pull back. However, it's one to really watch because they just announced that they're doing a share buyback through the company, which I think is going to attract some buyers to come back into this company here. And so it's one to kind of keep an eye on, because you could see it continue to move up past this point once the word gets out about that. Okay, so this one here, I really don't have any specific entry point at this point as far as for a swing, or maybe I guess you could say if it does pull back to about the $63 mark. But with that news, it could be bullish to where it pops up and busts through that 65.72 mark, and if it does, then it'll act as support after that point. But currently in a bullish pattern, so again, I don't like to buy whenever it's green here. I want to wait until the pullback happens. When it's red, then I'll come back in. So keep an eye on that one for this week. And then Amazon, as far as for a swing play, and if you follow the channel, you know that I've been accumulating Amazon ever since the split, and as it falls down, I come and buy more. Just for longer term, I do think that this thing is going to long term recover really well. And but for a swing play, this is setting up really, really beautifully for anyone who wants to take advantage of that. So it's looking like it should bottom out at about 95, 96 bucks or so if it does get that low. I did buy here on Friday. I bought a few more shares for my longer term portfolio here, and but I think it's going to bounce off of here and then should make its way back up to about the 100 to 105 mark. Now, will it get rejected past that point? I don't know. However, if it does pull back any further, we are in undervalued territory, which we're pretty much in there now. But you see here, we've been bleeding out for quite some time. Okay, it's been over a week since we've, it's actually been right at a week, because since the pullback started, it's been bleeding out ever since. So we are due for some type of little run on Amazon at some point. Okay, just kind of, also it depends on how the market overall in general is going to, act on Monday. Which, speaking of which, let's take a look at the S&P 500 just to kind of get a look at that here. Do have a pullback on the S&P 500 happening here. I do think that we still have some more room for downside. However, I don't think that this is going to be an exceptional, huge crash to move to the downside. If you see here, we're still trading above the red SMA line, and we can go all the way down to about 39.62 before we can have to really start kind of thinking, are we crashing below that, or are we going, I think we can come down to about 4,000, okay, and then bounce off of that and then recover from there. Again, it's going to really depend on, any type of Fed meetings or minutes and things of that nature as far as how the market reacts overall, just because they have the ability to, obviously influence the market. But if you look at this chart here, this is the 180-day 4-hour. It's so crazy because it's just so inconsistent. It's like you have a run, you have a pull down, run, pull down, run, pull down. So it just kind of all depends on what happens from there. But we'll see how that goes. So keep an eye on the S&P on Monday morning. But like I said, I think it could, retest down here. It's about the 4,000 level. And then from there, in my opinion, we find some type of recovery and then start making our way back up to retest this 41.28 level. But, if the market's doing bad, then you could, pretty much assume that, some of your major companies like Amazon and Google and, some of the other ones are probably not doing well either. So I'm using that as a buying opportunity on the down days, no doubt, especially for Amazon, anything under $100. I'm definitely taking advantage of that. Okay, that's all I got for you in this video, guys. Let me know your comments below. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.